Say you got to know which way to turn the wrench. Because if you don't know which way to turn the wrench, you're going to spend a long time on the side of the road in a snowstorm trying to change a tire. If you don't know which way to turn the wrench, you're going to turn your backyard barbecue and your propane grill into a fireball. If you don't know which way to turn the wrench, that annoying little leak under the sink in the bathroom is going to become 1 inch of water throughout your house. Okay? And so many times, in so many areas of our life, whether it's sales, business, or something else, there's usually just one thing that's keeping us from going from bad to good or good to great. And let me give you an example of how that happened, one thing in my life. When I started out in sales, I was really, really bad. Okay? And it was mostly because I couldn't overcome objections. You know, it's too expensive, I gotta talk to my wife, I need to do some research, gotta think about it, it's the wrong color, you know, whatever. And I had a sales manager who was smart enough to sit down with me, and he gave me the responses for the 12 most common objections. And he said, just memorize these responses and you'll do fine. Okay, whenever one of these objections comes up, just give them the response and move on and close the sale. So I did that. I memorized the 12 responses to the most common objections. And what do you know? My numbers improved. I went from closing 1 out of 50 people down to 1 out of 12, 1 out of 10. And for me, that was good. It means I was, actually making money instead of wasting opportunities and blowing sales. But I still wasn't where I wanted to be. I just simply wasn't making it. Then I had another sales manager who said, Brad, you only need 1 response. You don't need to memorize 12 or 20. Just memorize 1. And I said, great, what is it? And he said, if somebody gives you an objection, count to 3 and say, is that it? Is that the only thing getting in the way of you making a decision today? And if the prospect said yes, then you just isolate that objection, do your best to overcome it, and close the sale, because they said, fix that problem, answer that question, and I'll do business with you. Or if they say no, then you have some work to do. Maybe you need to explain the process better. Maybe you need to amplify their problem or their pain better. Maybe you need to explain your solution better. Maybe you need to show them how it's a good value for whatever they're doing. Okay? And once again, with that one little tweak, overcoming that obstacle, I was able to get from 1 out of 12, 1 out of 10, down to 1 out of 8, 1 out of 5. But still, and I just wasn't having the success I wanted. It was good, but it was not great. And then I ran into another sales manager who said, well, the reason why you're struggling is that you should not be getting any objections at all. What do you mean? He said, you need to qualify the heck out of your prospects. You need to make sure that A, they need it, B, they want it, C, they can pay for it, and D, that they trust you to do it. You need to spend more time qualifying your prospects so that when you close them, it's an obvious yes. It's an easy sale. It becomes an easy sale at that point. Okay. Then once I started doing that, the 1 out of 8 or the 1 out of 5, some months it was, 1 out of 1. Some months it was 1 out of every 2 or 3. But once I did that, I became a much happier person. Not only was I having more success at closing clients, closing prospects, I was getting their business, I was making money, I was able to show how good I was, and then that allowed me to get referrals and stay in business to make even more money. So it's just that one thing. What's that one thing that's holding you back? What's that one little piece of knowledge, like knowing which way to turn the wrench, that will allow you to go forward in your business?